Have you ever felt like you reached a point or you achieved your dream or you achieved your goal and you are now at the point where you don't know what is next, or you feel like you are kind of in this in-between and nothing is really happening, nothing is really moving, and you don't really know how to navigate that? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Because I can talk for myself that I have appeared and found myself in this situation many times before, and I have learned something about this intersection, and that is that you cannot really force your way through that, because it doesn't really work that way. Right? If you are working with your mindset, if you are working with your subconscious mind, if you are working with your identity and you are literally changing your identity, there is going to be a part where you will be kind of in this in-between, where nothing you have been familiar with, nothing you have been relating to before is going to come with you to the next level. Okay, so there are parts of you that cannot come with you to the next level, whether it's relationships, whether it's your habits, whether it's your behaviors, whether it's environment. There will be something that cannot literally go to the next step, to the next identity, to the identity that you want to embody. For example, if you want to embody someone wealthy and all you have known was a comfortable level where you were earning a comfortable amount of money, which were just allowing you to get through, get by, and just, occasionally treat yourself or do something for yourself and just get usually stuff that you were used to. If you are now working on your identity to be in a wealthy position, you cannot literally bring your habits and your behaviors that you had in the previous identity, right? It's just obvious when you think about it, because wealthy people, they have different mindset, they have different behavior, they don't think about scarcity, they don't make their decision based on how much it's something cost or how much is gonna take them to earn it back or stuff like that. They have completely different mindset when it comes to this. And I'm just using this as an example because a lot of people can relate to that. So there is going to be this kind of sense of a part of you in a way is dying, right? So like I mentioned, whether that's going to be your behavior, whether that's going to be some relationships, because not everyone's going to be able to relate to you at this different point of your life, at this different point of your up-leveling, or it's going to be environment where you feel like you don't really fit in anymore because the people around you do not really relate, they are not really supporting your vision, and they cannot really come with you to the next level. So there is going to be this sensation of part of you dying, and I would just want you to realize and understand that this is completely normal. And this is where so many people go wrong, because they start panicking and start questioning, am I doing something wrong? Why does it feel so bad? Why does it feel like so empty? Because there is a sense of emptiness that comes with it. Because if you are quantum shifting, however you want to call it, identity shifting or jumping timelines, whatever the trendy word is now, whatever it is, the point is that before you can get to the next level, there is going to be a certain emptiness, a certain silence, a certain testing ground that the universe is putting you through in order to see if you really mean it, if you really want to get to the next level, if you really are committed to getting to the next level, or if you're just playing around, and if you are just testing the ground and doing anything and everything in order to do that, right? So, like I said before, this is where many people get it wrong, and this is where many people kind of go back to the familiar because they get scared of the emptiness, they get scared of the silence. They literally return back to the familiar, to something they have already known, and to the so-called security, because they cannot withstand this emptiness, they cannot withstand this in-between. But let me tell you, this in-between is the most powerful place you can find yourself in, because if you find yourself in this place, that means you are already in the testing ground. So it is only up to you, and it's gonna depend on how you're gonna approach this and how you're gonna move forward, and if you can withstand this test to move to the next identity, to the next level. Meaning, in translation, you are very close to your next level, you are very close to your next identity, but you have to kind of overcome this obstacle. And I also want to reframe it in your mind. Do not look at this as some kind of obstacle, of some kind of testing ground. If that's not what you feel comfortable with, if that makes you feel somewhat intimidated, but just take it as a part of the game. So if you ever played games, if when you were younger or even now, you know there are certain levels that you have to go through and you have to progress. And each level is gonna come with certain challenges at the end that you have to overcome. And once you overcome these challenges, you can go to the next level. And then you have upgraded. That's the same way that it goes in this universe, in this reality. Every time you want to up level, and you want to shift into the next reality or different reality or whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, I would assume that all of us are trying to level up rather than level down. So it is going to be more challenging than your current reality that you are living right now. And that is going to require you to shed this old part of yourself, whether it's habit, relationships, environments, or behaviors, because those cannot come with you to the next level. They will not be any way helpful in the next level. It is like you are trying to get to the level number 10, but you are bringing your skill set from the level number 8, let's say, for example. So you are not going to be successful in level 10 if you are bringing the skill set from number 8, because you need to upgrade yourself, you need to upgrade your skill, you need to upgrade everything in order to succeed in the next level. So that is why it's happening. And now I would like to share with you a few practical tips that you can actually use if you find yourself in this situation. Number 1, ground yourself in your body daily. So what is happening with this shift is that your body is actually much slower with catching up on what is happening in your mind, because intellectually or logically you could have already caught up on that and you already understand what is happening, but your body needs ways to kind of anchor in the moment, to anchor in the reality and to feel safe, to actually remain in that reality and to progress into that reality. So you will need to find your ways how to ground yourself and how to make your body feel safe, whether that's walking, journaling, breathing, meditation, whatever it is for you. You need to make your body familiar with this new level of you, with this new sensation of you, so it doesn't sabotage you back to the level that you have just overcome. Number 2, stop forcing clarity. And this is a big one for so many of us. And I know I have been in this situation so many times when I have appeared in this in-between. And it is like, before you get the clarity, before you kind of integrate all the shifts, all the changes that are happening, you cannot really download or receive the clarity that you need to move on and move ahead. So you cannot really force it. You cannot think your way through clarity. You cannot speed up this process, because clarity comes when your body, when your mind, when your nervous system is ready for the next step, and you make your body familiar with everything that is happening, and clarity can reach you. You are not actually supposed to find clarity. You need to allow the space to let it find you. Number 3 is clean your environment. Okay, so as we know by now that our environment deeply affects us, and sometimes when we have a lot of clutter around us, a lot of stuff that we don't really resonate with in our physical environment, it can clutter our mind as well. It can bring us this sensation of not being able to move forward because we feel like there is so much clutter around us, there is so many things that are not aligned with us. So what I would suggest is to clean the environment and most of all remove the objects or things or anything that doesn't resonate with you anymore and is not supposed to come with you to the next level. So you physically prove to your mind and show to your mind that you are getting rid of physically of what is not supposed to come with you to the next level, to the next stage. Number 4, reduce the external noise. So I know so many of us, when we find ourselves in this in-between, when this middle ground, we start searching for the answers. We start searching for the answers, whether it's online or we start watching videos or we start watching tutorials, how to get through this, how to make it, how to fast forward, how to manifest immediately, how to change the situation, etc., etc. And this external noise, when you are in this in-between, is not going to help you with anything, right? It's going to just bring more mental clutter into your mind, into your brain, instead of letting this space to work for you and work with you and letting clarity find you. You're going to bring more unnecessary information because the clarity is already trying to reach you. The answers are already within you. And instead of letting it come to you, you are putting more of the information which is perhaps not even needed and necessary if you're grasping it in this desperate way of trying to fast forward this process. So instead, reduce the noise, let yourself be in the silence, let yourself be in the in-between. I know it's uncomfortable, but that's the thing that's gonna actually fast forward the process. Number 5, anchor the micro goals. So whenever your mind is focusing on the big vision, big goal, the big next level, what's gonna help is gonna bring small tangible steps, tangible goals day by day to help you ground and navigate this in between, okay? So instead of putting all your focus on what's next, what's ahead, the big unknown, because you don't really know how it's going to come to you, I want you to put little goals every day. Like, for example, I'm going to move my body today. I'm going to eat nourishing food. I'm going to support myself with the workout. I'm going to go for a walk. These little moments, little goals are going to propel you forward and are going to give to your mind this kind of satisfaction of ticking the boxes of what to do, some kind of to-do list, before you focus and put your mind on this big goal, big vision that is materializing for you. You make those little goals work for you, and that's how you're going to reward your mind and make it work for you. Number 6, reconnect with something real and simple. So this one might sound very obvious, but so many of us, especially in this personal development environment and really ambitious, and we are trying to achieve our goals and all of that and always leveling up, we should not forget about actually living our life and remember the simple things in our life, such as spending time with friends or family or having a laugh, or just removing the constant pressure and the constant need to do something or prove something or level up, or simply not missing these little moments that are really important in our life, and remember how important they are. And they might actually bring the clarity towards us in those very unexpected moments when you are doing something completely different than what you are focusing on. That's usually when the clarity comes. And number 7, I want you to ritualize reflection. So this could be any kind of questions that you feel are relevant to you or important to you, and just really reflecting how you feel internally, because so many times we are focusing everything on the outside world and on the achievements, on the goals that we are trying to achieve, that we forget to check in with ourselves, actually how we feel about it. How do we feel about the thing that we are trying to achieve? What are we done with doing? What are we done with pretending? How do we want to show up in our life? How do we want our life to actually be? How do we want to feel on day to day? And start bringing these reflective questions at least once a week to bring this kind of reflection of where you are, at which place you are right now in your life, and how you can move forward, and if you are actually really living up to your potential. So remember, whenever you find yourself in this in-between, in this situation where you don't really know what's next, but you know and you feel internally that you are actually shedding the old identity, the old reality, the old you, remember that this in-between is not actually punishment. It is the testing ground, and it is how you can move forward. It is giving you the opportunity to actually integrate all of this. So whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been up-leveling, updating in your life, doing, there needs to be this time of integration, because anything else is going to be just conceptualized and not actually integrated. It cannot go with you to the next level. So it is actually a very important stage in manifestation in your life, however you want to call it, in achieving your goals. This integration, this silence, this in-between, and this emptiness, so-called emptiness, it gives you the time and space for reflection. It gives you times and space for integration, and I would say it's one of the most important parts of this whole process, because based on this, it depends, because this emptiness is gonna end one way or another, right? So it's either gonna end with you finding yourself in the new reality, new identity, and up-leveling your life because you took the time to reflect, to find clarity, and to let it land, or you're gonna come back to the previous level, which is also not a problem, because sometimes we have to repeat these lessons, we have to repeat the levels until we can reach the next one. So it is also okay, but you will have to go through this once again. And if that happens, also don't beat yourself up for it, just go through it, and the next time you're gonna know how to move through it differently and how to do much better and how to succeed. Okay, so I would love for you to share in the comments if you are currently in this in-between. Share in the comments, and let's support each other, let's get through it, and let's get to the other side.